And welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Man Cave. I'm Travis, your host, and with me is my good friend Jason Lance. We've known each other for about 25 years or so, is that correct?
Pretty close, give or take.
How you doing today, man?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Now, you're a semi-professional wrestler, is that correct?
Yeah, I've been doing that for about 10 years now, Travis.
10 years?
It made 10 years August 22nd.
Sweet. You actually know the date there. I like that.
Yeah, I've got it wrote down.
Now, I know you've been into wrestling pretty much all your life. Ever
Yeah,
since the days
yeah.
of like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and stuff like that.
Probably since I was about 5, maybe 6 year old. That's when I got into it pretty heavy. My dad and family members were always a fan, and I actually hated it when I was a kid because Dad was always hogging the TV and all that good stuff, and I couldn't watch my cartoons, but I finally just, gave in and gave it a shot, and then I was in love,
Who was your favorite wrestler of all time?
All time, like forever.
Yes.
And this is going to be out there, man, and I'll get judged for this. Mr. Kennedy / Mr. Anderson. Pretty recent. I mean, as a kid, I loved Tully Blanchard, Who didn't, and then... I was not a Hogan fan. Everybody loved Hogan. I hated Hogan. Ultimate Warrior, wasn't a fan.
What?
Yeah.
Get out.
Same thing with the Goldberg. Goldberg, man. I never was a fan of Goldberg. Everybody loved Goldberg. I remember we used to like the NWO, though.
NWO.
And
For life.
Sting and all them boys.
Dennis Rodman. Rodman was my icon there.
Him and David Arquette, they were probably the best WCW.
So, what made you decide that you wanted to become a wrestler?
Boredom. No, I don't know, man. It was just something that I'd always kind of wanted to do, and it when I broke in, it was a little difficult than guys have it nowadays. Nowadays, you show up at a show, you set a ring up, and they train you before the show, or work out some kind of deal where you can get trained. I started looking, I guess, when I was about 21, 22, and it took until I was, heck, I don't even know how old I was. That's how old I am now. I don't even remember it, but it took me years. Probably 3 years to find somebody that was willing to train me, and I don't want to throw nobody under the bus here and give names, but the first feller, promotion, whatever, that offered to train me and talk to me about it, they took my money. I paid them 100% up front, just like they asked, and the first show that they said show, it was going to be it's going to be a training session or whatever I show up for, they're not there, and it's like it never existed, it was just some bullshit that they fed me. It was like, and they didn't last long after that. But I ended up going up to North Carolina and got in with some guys up there, and they relayed me back to a little place in Tennessee, and I tried hard to get, I don't know if you remember Mr. Fuji, but I tried hard. That was before he got ill and was put in a nursing home. He passed away now, but I tried hard to get in his school, and I kept going in circles, but I ended up with just a little rinky-dink hole-in-the-wall company when I got trained. I trained for a year before I had my first match, or a little better than a year. But then when I come back to Tennessee, I didn't know nobody. I had no credibility, I just...
No street cred, right?
Yeah, I mean, and nobody wants to work with somebody that don't know what, they don't know if they, what you're doing. They don't know who trained you, They gave me a shot. I was with them for about 2 years.
And what organization was this?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Nah, I don't care to say. TEW. They've got a really bad rep now. I won't say really bad. They just not known to use all the best workers in the world, and not pay the guys and stuff. But that's whatever floats your boat. They let you know in advance, if you're going to get paid or not there. But they're it's not the most credible organization around these days. I'm not even sure if they still run. I haven't been in contact with them in several years. It ain't all bad because they at least gave me my shot here to move on to bigger and better things.
Well, you got your foot in the door.
Yeah,
correct?
that was the big thing, and like I said, 2 years of in-ring experience, and you can do all the training in the world until you're out there and actually having to go through, do it. That, and you're always learning. It's one of them things where you never quit learning. But everybody comes in thinks they got these big dreams. Oh, I'm gonna make it WWF or WWE now. Somewhere like that.
You're showing your age now.
It's just it's not likely. I've got some friends out there that I feel like should be there. Good friend of mine. I still consider him a friend. I don't get to see him often, but like Lenny Stratton, I think him and Darian both. I feel like they both deserve to be somewhere bigger. they're excellent workers, just need to be given a fair shake. People like that, that I'm not even close to, they're just head and shoulders above me, and I feel like somebody ought to give some of them like that a look. It's just hard, if you're going to do anything. Like the company I used to work for, NGW, I mean, they're doing great, proud of them. That's probably the closest thing in this area.
Eddie Shepard and Cody Ford,
yes,
correct?
Sir. Eddie Shepard and Cody Ford. Those are
good guys.
That's probably the closest thing to a big leagues that most of the guys around here is ever going to experience. And they use a lot of guys from TV now and give some of the local guys a chance to work against the bigger names. Good bunch of guys, but
I saw a promotion for them on Facebook today. Was it Jeff Jarrett supposed to be there?
Yeah, when we first started that, when I was with them, Jeff Jarrett actually cut a little promo type thing, trying to help promote a event or two of NGW, and that was when it was still a pipe dream. Had hopes for it to take off, and they've exceeded expectations. They're probably the most recognizable company in Tennessee, in my opinion.
Right.
If not more.
They've had some good talent come through the door.
Oh yeah, excellent. And last show they had Ultimo Dragon.
Really?
Yeah, and that's one of my childhood favorites. And
sweet.
I would have gave anything to make that show, but it wouldn't in the cards for me to be able to be there. I don't even know what the question was now. We just kind of started rambling.
It's all good. Keep going.
Where we at? Oh, but yeah. Anyways, I got my foot in the door with them, and then we had another company that was at that time they were actually running the Armory in Rogersville, and they were SWF, Southern Wrestling Federation, I think is what it stood for. I can't even remember now. Mm-hmm. And then they relocated to the Dutch Bottom Skating Rink for just like a month, or maybe 2 months, and then they ended up having the old Walmart building. And they needed some extra talent, and I actually went to Rogersville, and we worked the show, and they wanted to bring some of us in to work their show full-time as well. Mm-hmm. The problem was, I was actually in a tag team, and I didn't know no better, because, like I said, I was still green, and, they kind of made me feel like if I went and worked this show, because my partner wasn't one of them that they asked to come in and work, that I should, he should go with me, I should be a tag team. And we didn't see eye to eye on that, and we butted heads, so I ended up breaking ties with the other promotion to go work for this promotion full time. And it's probably the best thing I ever did. I got to you're never going to learn, in my opinion, you're never going to learn how to swim if you stay in the same pond.
Right.
You can float around, but you're not going to be able to spread your wings and fly.
Words of advice from Jason Lance.
I don't have many. Most of it's bullshit.
One of my favorite pieces of advice is, you could piss on my face, but just don't tell me it's raining.
It's on my Facebook.
I love it.
I live by it. Most women need to take those words to heart.
Now, what organization are you currently in?
ICWA. A good buddy of mine, he wrestles under the name Wicked J. His name's Justin. It's spelled with an E-N. Never seen that before. Oyster. And it actually, and I'm not ashamed to say it, started out as a backyard federation. A lot of the guys look down on backyard federations, and I was one of them. I personally, used to refuse to wrestle in the backyard. Mm-hmm. I felt like it, I paid quite a bit for training, I just looked down on them guys. But he's turned into something special. He ran his first show in Washburn, and we moved it from Washburn to Sneedville. And coming up June 16th, we'll be moving the show again to Morristown at the Armory. But he's got a heck of a roster. I mean, basically anybody that you've ever seen at SWF, NGW, like that, the local companies, Pro Wrestling Federation, that's the one that used to run Rogersville. We got like Cody Clark, Tony Kilgore, Rain Rodriguez, Taylor Henning, Craig Hyder, Murphy Costigan, Jordan Lawrence.
You got the Southern Bad Boys too, don't you?
We got Southern Bad Boys.
Right.
Trying to think now. Martin's going to kill me. I've actually got the match card for the show, try to get us a little rub going on here. Yeah, I'm old. I got to put my glasses on.
It happens to the best of us, man.
But yeah, at the June 16th show, they're calling it Breakdown. It's pretty good lineup. We've got the Outcasts, which is Chris Cage and Jason Cross, and they'll be taking on the Demon Reapers, which is Wicked J and Cody Clark. Then we got my boys are in a 6-man tag. I'm in a group called Merciless. They're teaming up with Jeff Baker to take on Wicked Fortune. There you go, Martin. Sorry, Alan. Couldn't remember y'all's name. I apologize. And Rain. They're having a match you'll like. I don't know who's going to be in it. It's a surprise lightsaber match.
Oh.
We was going to do that one back in May, and we had some problems with the building, so we had to bump it up. But we're still going to give it to it since the crowd, seemed to react to it. We've also got High Society. taking on the Southern Bad Boys for our tag titles. We've got the International Championship. Chris Cage will be defending against Alexander Hicks. And then the main event will be a triple threat match for our heavyweight title. It'll be Tony Kilgore versus Taylor Henning versus myself for that one. So, a lot of local guys, that people are very familiar with. Like myself, this was probably the first time, or the closest I've been to my hometown wrestling in probably 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
When I left, here, I've just, I've been everywhere but Newport, and I think I maybe have been Morristown twice in the 2 years.
Now, what was your most memorable match?
Well, the one that stands out in my mind was probably the one I was really green. I might have been actually working for maybe 3 months, and I just remember it sticks out in my mind because I was nervous as all get out, and I'm still nervous a little bit, to an extent. But I had a match against Chick White, who's one of the local veterans that everybody respects and looks up to, and I just remember being terrified, worried that I wasn't going to be good enough, or I was going to mess something up royally, or just ruin the whole thing. As you go on and learn, you have a lot of matches that stand out, and you get more proud of yourself, your performance as you get out there. Most of my career, I've been, a bad guy heel, and
it suits you.
Yeah, it does. And I always played to my strength. I've always had the sense of humor and the comedy, and I was the guy that, in a battle royal would bail out of the ring and slide in the front row and steal somebody's hot dog and sit there and chill and eat and instead of being eliminated. I was the comedy, type ordeal. And here over the last year, when I formed a group with Murphy and Jordan, Merciless, we got moved away from that. We're changed our attitude a little bit. We don't take no shit off nobody. We're in your face, sticking our nose where it don't belong. If it feels right to us, we do it. Yeah, beating up the woman was a bad idea, but we did it.
It's bad for publicity.
It was bad for publicity. It was bad for, I could tell a story from that show over there, man. And the crowd was so riled up that night. And me and Cody Clark, we had a 3 stages of hell match, which is, if you get a pinfall, you advance to the next match. First fall was, a standard match, into a street fight, into a dog collar match with the chain connecting us. And it was just brutal. He was bleeding just profusely, just everywhere. And, his wife manages him, and she wanted to stick her nose where it didn't belong, and Murphy had to pop her. So, that got the crowd riled up, and a fan come at me with a chair. If the security hadn't been there, I'd probably got leveled. And then we had a few of these good old boy rednecks that, decided they wanted to fight. They get in the way, man. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'd rather it be her than whatever she had in her hand to hit me.
Right.
So, it seems to be working out for us. They're running pretty well as a tag team, and Murphy has just won a chance to actually start competing for an international title shot after, as the next contender, and I'm in a heavyweight title match. So, obviously somebody's taking notice. Put on a great show with this, and, it's more of the Attitude Era feel. We keep it PG-13. We let it know we're not, if you're, we warn you ahead.
If you're a little sensitive,
if you're a little sensitive, stay the home. That's just, it's just, we're in your face. It's good old wrestling at its best.
Wrestling, yes. Now, what was your most painful injury? I'm sorry.
Well, jacked my wrist up pretty good this last show. It's right now it's the most painful. But I tore a tendon that runs from the bicep to the shoulder. I had my shoulder dislocated. I don't want to mention no names. Adam Morrison. I won't give you a real name. Well, he did what we call a botch, which is a frig up a basic standard move, and he was taking it. And how he did this, but somehow about the time we're horizontal from the mat, his weight comes down on top of me, and we drive my shoulder in the mat. So we don't quit the match because we get hurt. We go through with it. Not to give too much away, I had it reset and continued with the match. And
oh, wow.
It just, but that's the second time. The second time I've had to have a shoulder pop back in during a match. But that one, when it tore, it was just, I was laid up for about 8 months, but I wrestled through most of it just because of the
I remember that when that happened, but for some reason I didn't know what it was. that you out?
Oh, I didn't know forever. I thought it was just, where I'd had my shoulder dislocated before, it hurt, and I just thought it was the pain. And I actually had to, get checked out and a little work done to it to get it repaired, which was the first major thing that I've had to have actually done. I've had my ankle rolled and ribs broke, nose broke, stuff that heal. Bone in my hand broke, stuff like that. But that was the first one that it actually wouldn't heal on its own, that I actually had to have assistance with.
Tendons seem to take a long time to heal.
Yeah, and I mean, I like I said, because I was committed and, didn't want to leave nobody hanging, I worked through it, and I probably shouldn't have. And I worked, after I had the procedure, I was probably laid up. I know I wasn't supposed to come back for like 6 to 8 weeks, but I think I was back 2 weekends later. But yeah, I was taking it easy. But at that time, I was wearing a zip-up full bodysuit, so I had it taped heavily. But the crowd didn't see, all that good stuff. So I tried to keep it hidden. But hey, it is what it is. It ain't ballet.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that says, "Oh, wrestling's fake" and all that. What is your response whenever someone says that?
This show isn't PG, right? There's nothing fake about what we do. It's entertainment. I mean, you watch movies, you enjoy them. It's entertainment. Everybody says you learn to fall. Let's face it. The ring is plywood steel, and you have maybe a 1/4 inch to maybe a 1/2 inch, depending on the ring, of padding. That's
not a whole lot.
Not at all. And we're, taking bumps on concrete. We're not WWE. We don't have the fancy mats around the ring. If you see us bump on the floor, we're bumping on the floor. Just like I'll tell anybody, man. If you're punching me, you're not trying to kill me. I mean, let's be real here. No bullshit. You're hitting me. You're not trying to knock my teeth out. You're not trying to break my jaw. And a lot of times we'll throw forearms. Because let's face it. If we went out there and punched each other in the head, we're gonna break our hands. We're gonna do a lot more damage than we need to do. We'll ring each other's bell. And I work snug, and a lot of guys bitch and whine because you work snug. I prefer it. That's the way I was brought in. That's the way, if you're going to hit me, don't, everybody thinks, oh, they don't touch you. I've got the bruises to prove it, it's just, we beat the shit out of each other a lot more than people think. And at the end of the day, you get a standard body slam, basic suplex, you're still landing on plywood and steel, there's not a whole lot.
I've seen the ring without the covers on them, and they don't look comfortable.
Oh, it's everybody thinks that, that's what's great, especially any chance I get, I set it on some of our training sessions, and the guys that come in for the first time, and the look on their face when they hit that mat, because they're thinking trampoline, that's let's face it, trampoline, and then they hit and you see the wind leave their body and their head smack that mat, because no matter how many times you tell somebody tuck their head, tuck their chin. They always hit their head. It's a lesson. It's the only way you can learn to do is by hitting your head.
You learn it the hard way, yeah.
But I learned quick. I've hit my head twice in my life, and that's I protect my head at all costs. I don't need no concussions.
No, those things are a bitch.
But yeah, I get a little riled up when people start calling it fake, because it's everybody knows what it is. At the end of the day, but at the same time, they think, oh, it's ketchup. No, it's our blood. If you see blood, whether we hard weighted or whether we did a blade job or whatever, it's blood, and it hurts. And, even sometimes with a miscue of the blade, you're going to need stitches, glue, whatever, I don't do needles. Screw that. I'll bleed out. It's more real than, like I said, 90% of the people think. It's entertainment. We're there for the crowd, for the fans, to get, give them their money's worth. And we're at the same time, we're trying not to kill each other, because we got to get up and go to work. We're not rich. We don't make all this money a year. We're doing it for our love, pretty much, and maybe gas money or enough to buy you a hamburger after you get the crap kicked out of you.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing it for.
It's a labor of love, isn't it?
That's what it is. Some guys make more than others doing it, but none of us are getting rich. Don't let nobody around here bullshit you. There are nobody getting rich.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And if you didn't love it, you wouldn't go through it and deal with the pains, the way I feel when I try to get out of bed in the mornings, and have to stretch before you can put your clothes on, it takes its toll. But it's, something I enjoy, and I don't know if, when or if I'll ever hang it up, but I'm enjoying it right now.
Right. Now tell us a little bit about the ICWA. What's the ticket prices?
$8 a head. It's flat rate, $8, whether you're front row, whether you're Depends on the setup. In Sneedville, we have bleachers, and whether you're in the nosebleeds. Kids, we don't offer no special prices for the kids. Most people do such and such and under free, and it's not because we don't appreciate the kids or nothing like that. It's just because too many people want to lie and argue, and that's just drama and BS with paying customers that you don't need. So it's a
Your
flat
kid
rate.
is 6 feet tall. He is not 3 years old.
And you would be surprised how many times people try to pull that. We used to do 10 and under free. And we had some 16, 17-year-olds are hollering they were 10. You got a beard, dude. You're not 10. But it's just no disrespect. We keep our ticket prices low. You're not gonna find $8 tickets anywhere else.
Right.
Still, so I mean, it's still affordable, family fun. But like I said, we draw the line. It's PG-13s. TV
14s.
Yeah, TV 14. We keep it a little edgy, and we have restrictions, but not a lot.
Well, that's about all the time we have for that. I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, June 16th, come see Jason Lance in action. Good night and God bless.